So on today's video, we're going to be diving into the rise, controversies, and downfall of Ambitouz Entertainment. But before I get into the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, make sure you have your post notification bell turned on so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And also, if you happen to enjoy the video, do not hesitate to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Let's get into it. So, Ambitouz Entertainment was originally founded in 2014 by a guy named Kgosi Mahumabelo, with the Spurs artists being MT, Fifi Cooper, and Benchmark. A lot of us probably started knowing about Ambitouz Entertainment through MT's blow-up hit song, Roll Up. The song that initially put the record label on the map in a big way, and between the years 2015 and 2016, they ended up signing Reese, Java, Amanda Black, Miss Prue, DJ City Lights, Saudi, Flame, and many more artists. At this point, Ambitouz was arguably the best record label at that time. They were untouchable and on a roll, and what made it more interesting is that they were doing all of this independently without the backup of one of the major labels. Almost every song coming out of the label became a hit. We had MT with hits like Roll Up, Re-Up, Pearl Tusi, and We Up, Reese with Couldn't, Mgani, Paradise, Zimbali, Amanda Black with Amazulu, Miss Prue with Ameni, Java with Xeni and Before, DJ City Lights with Washa and Vura, Saudi with There She Go, and these are just a few of the hits that came out between 2014 and 2017. The record label really took South Africa by storm, but there is a saying, behind every great success lies an untold story. And in 2017, cracks were starting to show on the record label with the exit of Reese, Benchmark, Fifi Cooper, and Flame due to financial disputes.
And the main thing is about Ambitouz. Yeah. What happened there?
To be honest, I wasn't getting paid, and I felt like my art direction was being taken into a whole new domain, that I'm not comfortable with. But beyond that, I was just not getting paid. I'm supposed to get paid.
However, MT, Java, and Amanda Black decided to stay regardless of the original plan they had as a collective to leave the record label all at once, according to Reese.
See, with MT had the same feelings as I did about the label.
Really?
And his were probably worse because they were bottled in. I like to say. I remember we had a show in PLK, and I was with him in the van and stuff. It was me, him, Flame. That's who I remember. And then he was like, yo, you can't even be your ultimate self as an artist in this label because you marginalized, I'm like, yo, where's that coming from? I was just like, I think I'm gonna leave sooner than I thought. Yo, I'm telling you right now, those are his words. They came out of his mouth. If I'm lying right now, may God strike me down.
MT ended up going to the same platform to deny the allegations Reese was making and said he knew nothing about them planning to exit the record label.
We were family, as you see, so it was a bit shocking, like how.
With all this controversy, for some odd reasons, some artists never saw the financial disputes as a red flag and still went ahead to sign with Ambitouz Entertainment, and in 2017, Kgosi ended up signing Pretty Ugly and Kitsini as some sort of replacements for Reese, Gigi Lamaine as an indirect replacement for Fifi Cooper, and not forgetting the signing of Cly, Black Diamond, CC, and Loyiso. Right after getting signed, Kitsini ended up dropping a diss track named Reese, which was clearly orchestrated by the label boss as a way to get back at Reese for leaving the record label, because Reese did say the same thing happened with him when it comes to Nasty C.
You spoke about your track for Nasty C that you kind of were coerced into making. Do you feel like Kitsini was coerced into doing the same thing?
Exactly the same thing.
So the same bullet came to...
Yeah, that's why I personally feel like this is not Kitsini versus Reese. This is the record label owner versus Reese. Because number one, I know for sure he didn't expect me to leave that soon. But when you're a person knowing you're doing bad, you most definitely have it in your mind like that. This guy might leave one day.
Okay.
But I know he didn't expect for me to leave that soon.
Yeah. So
this is really a war between me and the record label owner, let me tell you right now.
Despite the amount of blackballing the label owner tried to unleash on them, in 2017, Reese, Flame, Mash Beats, and Benchmark ended up starting their own movement alongside X Global and 1000 Degrees being the wrecking crew, and were slowly finding their feet again as that same year Reese dropped his comeback hit song, Meanwhile in Honeydew.
Yeah, I just told her the money the third time, then I estimated for the last season. They already put in our records they kept for the fourth quarter, man, it's that serious. Last week I made enough for a new car, but I blew it for no.
Which is arguably one of Awisa's biggest songs to date, and his longest charting album, From Me to You and Only You, dropped the same year, solidifying his independence. Flame also dropped arguably one of his best projects ever, which is Clouds, with The Message being the hit single from the EP.
Gave these hoes a chance, but these bitches never change. Gave these hoes a chance, but these bitches is the same. Gave these hoes a chance, but these bitches is insane. If you're looking for an angel, you know these bitches is insane.
In late 2017, the record label filed a lawsuit against former artist Fifi Cooper, banning her from performing any and all of the songs that she has released while under the label. This caused an uproar from fans and supporters of the artist, to the point where even the political party EFF even ended up stepping in to assist Fifi Cooper in the legal battle, which she eventually won. In 2018, the biggest act at that time, Amanda Black, announced that she was leaving the record label and signed a joint venture with Sony Music Entertainment. She then proceeded to sue the record label for over 1 million rand that was owed for her for unpaid performances, which she won. Following Amanda Black's exit were MT, Pretty Ugly, Gigi Lamaine, Cly, DJ CD Lights, and Saudi, all leaving due to financial disputes. Around that same time, MT ended up getting his cars and house repossessed, as they were all registered under the label boss's name. And I do remember he bought those things for MT after Aries had left, as a way to sort of keep MT from leaving the record label, and also as a way to shut down the rumors that artists were not getting paid. Java also ended up leaving the label in 2020. Despite all of this, the label somehow was still doing quite well, as Black Diamond carried the label once they started gaining traction with their hit song Ipanoi, which won Summer Record of the Year, and Maluma Vector got signed to Ambitouz in 2020 and gained traction fast too with his blow-up song Dumelang, and Miss Prue, who was still at the label at the time, dropped another hit song with Price to Pay, and everything seemed to be going back to normal. But that didn't last too long, because in 2021, Black Diamond and Maluma Vector ended up leaving the record label too, and I think we all know why they had left by now, and it's all due to financial disputes again. However, the exit of Maluma Vector and Black Diamond was not so smooth, as the record label kept on hitting them with copyright strikes every time they released a new song after leaving the record label, which Black Diamond and Maluma Vector ended up taking Ambitouz to court for, and Black Diamond ended up winning their case against Ambitouz, giving them full ownership of their music. But the same couldn't be said for Maluma Vector, as he didn't win the case against Ambitouz and was still facing contractual issues. In 2022, Miss Prue also ended up leaving the Ambitouz Entertainment, but according to her, she left Ambitouz on good terms, which I call cap, by the way. Moving on to CC, she also left the label in 2023, and at this point, Ambitouz had just really fallen off after the exit of Black Diamond and Maluma Vector. They did try to sign new artists after that, but it was never the same, as none of them produced the hits and star quality that all the previous artists had, and we since have never had a hit song coming from Ambitouz. The last song that would be considered a hit from the label is Wave Rider's song Wankudwana, and that is 2 years back. Will Ambitouz ever bounce back from this? I don't know, only time will tell, but I don't see that happening anytime soon unless they shift their focus to Amapiano, because that is the genre that is popping right now and is in high demand and is producing a lot of stars. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think of everything. Do leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and turn on your post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. 24 Music SA.